Lord has given and the Lord has taken away. Praise be the name of the Lord. A voice says, cry out, and I say, what shall I cry? All the flesh is grass, and all its beauty is like the flower of the field. The grass withers, the flower fades, when a wind of the Lord blows upon it. Surely the people are grass, the grass withers, the flower fades, but the word of our God shall endure forever. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will sustain you through my power. Mizmar LeDavid, Adonai Roy Lo Echsar. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He has me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He guides me on paths of righteousness. He revives my soul for the sake of his glory. Though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no harm, for you are with me. Your staff and your rod do comfort me. You set a table in sight of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I shall abide in the house of the Lord forever. A woman of valor, where does one find? A good wife, who can find? Her worth is far above rubies. The heart of a husband trusts in her, and nothing shall he lack. She remembers him good and not evil all the days of her life. She opens her hand to the needy and extends her hand to the poor. She is robed in strength and dignity, and cheerfully faces whatever may come. She opens her mouth with wisdom. Her tongue is guided by kindness. She tends to the affairs of her household and eats not the bread of idleness. Her children come forward and bless her. Her husband too, and he's praised her. Many women have done superbly, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a good revering woman is much to be praised. Place before her the fruits of her hand. Wherever people gather, her deeds speak her praise. Wow, in such a short period of time, to have the difficult task to bid a final farewell to our dear beloved Mrs. Gottlober, first to Mr. Louis Gottlober, and now to his most beloved wife, mother to his children, grandmother, great-grandmother, Mrs. Roseanne Gottlober. Mrs. Gottlober is such a special person, dedicated wife, mother, hostess, and friend. Today, we are going to concentrate and speak the beautiful life of Mrs. Gottlober, the beautiful life of the couple of Mr. and Mrs. Gottlober. Our sages tell us birth is involuntary, death is inevitable. The test of life is how one will fare between the 2 points. I have the privilege of knowing the Gottlober family and sharing their friendship. Whenever I came to visit, even in the later years, Mrs. Gottlober always had a welcoming smile and offered me a seat on the couch and told me to be comfortable until Mr. Gottlober came out, always reminding me that before I left, I had to say prayers and give her a blessing. Our sages tell us, who is a person who is worthy of our honor? The person who honors others. Who is a person who is worthy of our respect? A person who respects others. Who is a person who is worthy of our love? A person who loves and cares for us and others. Mrs. Gottlober was honored, respected, and loved by all, because she honored, respected, and loved and cared about others. All the time that I was there and visited her, Mrs. Gottlober never complained. She lived a life of faith and was happy with her lot in life. So, we gather here today reflecting on a beautiful life. We shed a tear and cry for us, not for Mrs. Gottlober, because the world was a richer place with Mrs. Gottlober in it, and now a poorer place without her. Let us find comfort in knowing that she lived a full life, a beautiful life, and leaves behind a beautiful legacy. Mrs. Gottlober is smiling at us and saying, I don't know about you, but our Father in heaven is giving me a beautiful homecoming welcome. As we know in life, people have different strives, struggles, and goals. People, as they get up, one of the main things people strive for is glory, fame, and money. Where does that take you in life? Where does that get you in life? No place. You look around in life, some of the wealthiest people that this world has, nobody knows who they are. Nobody knows what they did. Nobody knows anything about them. I could think of my life when I was young, the name was Rockefeller. They were the richest people. But if you ask somebody today, what did Rockefeller do? They say, I don't know, maybe they were in the oil business, maybe they were in this business. But could somebody say that Rockefeller healed people, Rockefeller put a smile on your face, Rockefeller helped somebody? Could somebody tell you that? Nobody can tell you that. Right? You see a name on a building. Okay, the guy was a millionaire. He gave a few dollars to the place. They put his name on the building. When that building gets knocked down, nothing is left. What is left from there? A guy does something to help people. A guy invented insulin to help people with diabetic. I don't know the guy's name, but I know I have a student who's diabetic, and I tell him all the time, I don't know who invented that insulin pump, but I bless him every day because you could walk around and you're healthy. This man left a legacy, whoever he is. Eventually I'll find out who he is and I'll bless him again. So what we do in this world, right, maybe while that person is alive, but he has nothing. He didn't leave anything for us. Right? A person who is in this world, when you do a good deed for somebody, every time you do that deed, the person looks back at that deed, he has a good feeling. You know, and I went to that guy's house and he offered me a drink and I was thirsty. I can never forget it. I was thinking on the way here, every time I went to the house, Mr. Louis Gottlober had that smile and he was gregarious and carrying on. And Mrs. Gottlober was the nice lady and the smiling lady. Every time I think about that, I went to visit, it gives me a good feeling. So when we go on in life, and this is a lesson for all of us, and when we speak and we do this, we're talking to ourselves too. We're all included. What do we want in life? We only want one thing in life. In life, we want to be able to leave a legacy. That when people look back and they think about us, they should do two things. What can I learn from that person? What can I learn? Why do we put headstones on people's graves? We don't put headstones on people's graves so we can know where to go visit them. Who cares where they're laying? They're gone. It serves no purpose. We go to visit them. People think we're going to visit them to honor them. No, we're not going to visit to honor them. We're going to visit to say, how did this person live? I need to learn something. So when something goes wrong in our lives, why do we go to our parents' grave? Why do we go to an honorable person's grave? We go there to get energy. We say, you know what? This person lived so honorable. What could I learn from that person? What did that person do right that I could learn from them? So while we're here today, one of the things that I'm taking away from here, and I'd like all of us to take away from here, what kind of sweet lady Mom was, what kind of sweet couple they were, the smile that they had. I didn't know them all their lives. I could only say from what I knew about them, What did I know about them? I knew the sweetness. I know the first time I met him. Could I take you out to lunch? I want to treat you to lunch. I said, I don't want no lunch. I don't like restaurant food. I don't like to sit in the restaurant where it takes you a half hour until they give you service and that. Come out to the yeshiva, we'll sit down and talk. But I want to treat you to something. And I learned from that. You know, when somebody comes to me, I always think, hey, can I treat you to something? I keep granola bars in my office for that. I do little things like that, even though a granola bar is a small item, but it's something that I want to treat something. I learned something that hopefully somebody who's going to come to my office and say, hey, you know what, when I went to the rabbi's office, he treated me, he insisted on treating me to something, I need to do that. So hopefully I treated somebody to something. And this is what we should take away today. You come into somebody's house, the first thing that came in, sit down, have a seat, relax. You had a beautiful, sweet lady smile. That we should live our lives and think that times when things are rough, even when you have a rough time at home, a guest comes in, you think, hey, mom and dad didn't take that into consideration. Maybe they argued before I came. I have no idea. I never saw it. I never could tell. And this is how we have to live our life. What could we learn from them? To take away from them the sweetness, the kindness, how they live their lives. And maybe you guys know something I don't know, but that doesn't count. Because when people came, the only thing they saw was sweetness and kindness. And that's what we really should learn from today. This is what we take away from today. So when we go away from here today, right, it's sad that we lost them. It's sad that they're not here. But we still could go away with a real good feeling because there's something so nice and so good that we could learn from that. So who is Mrs. Gottlober that I just spoke about? She was raised in Warren, Ohio. She graduated from the Warren G. Harding High School in 1954. She married her love Lewis in 1956. They were a very loving couple and were blessed to spend 64 years together. They had 3 children, Jay, Alex, and Lena. They had 3 grandchildren, Larry, Russell, and Tim. 5 great-grandchildren, Mackenzie, Jackson, Marcus, Ella, and Hero, Theodore. When their oldest son was born and had special needs, as I said, by Mr. Louis Gottlober's funeral, Mr. Gottlober noted at that time there were no special programs or housing for these special children. He treated his son like all other children, giving them tasks that he knew he could do, which he did, and he also taught himself how to read. He's the only special child that knows how to read in those homes. They can't pull no fast ones over him or change menus or do stuff like that, right? Because he could catch them, right? Mr. Gottlober was instrumental in establishing homes for these special children, and in doing this, he was concerned not only about his own child, but for all others in the same situation. And because of him, there are different types of programs and housing for these children all over the city. What a wonderful legacy. Something else to learn. Now, all this was done. Who was the woman that encouraged all this? Right? Who was the woman that herself started 2 of these homes? Who was the woman who was the backbone behind this man? Who was the woman that bought the cleaning supplies for these homes, the toiletries for these homes, the linens for these homes? Who kept the kitchen stocked for these homes? The wonderful wife, Roseanne, before us today. Behind every good man, and you know the rest. Everybody has their own version of what goes, but we know one thing, we're behind every good man, and when everything gets done, there's a beautiful woman behind there doing whatever she does to make sure it gets done. Mrs. Gottlober was a lifetime member of Hadassah. She was a certified medical lab technician. Mrs. Gottlober worked for the American Red Cross for 20 years. She was a TV star. I didn't know about that. She was a contestant on Dialing for Dollars. Right? They never told me how many dollars she won. Maybe they didn't share so much with me. Or with you. Yeah. Or with you. I'm not sure.
You know, she never liked to talk on the phone, so she probably didn't win all that much money.
Oh. Even though they were very generous. She was a volunteer at Lake West Hospital. She loved her family. Right? She was a baker. She loved making challahs for the high holy days. She had her children help her bake and braid the challahs for the holiday. She loved music. She had a beautiful voice. She and Dad were big football fans, always rooting for the Browns. She liked plopping down on the couch with Dad for college football and for professional football games. She enjoyed camping. She delighted in being in the outdoors. She derived pleasure from reading a good romance novels. And she was just a very, very sweet lady. The Gottlobers always had strays in the house, humans and animals. And what was quoted to me by Lena when I did the funeral for Mr. Gottlober, any person or stray animal had a place in our house, just like the house of Sarah and Abraham. So this is a wonderful couple. We have a lot to learn from them. So as we gather here to bid our final farewell to our Mrs. Gottlober, a very special person, the other half of a very special couple, the beloved wife of Mr. Gottlober, what are we supposed to think? So let us take a moment to reflect. What would Mom say to us? What message would Mom want us to take home with us today? This is what she would tell us. I had a good life. I did the best what I was blessed with. Celebrate my life and remember the good times. She would say to us, don't cry for me because I died. Be happy for me because I lived and was blessed to enjoy that life with each and every one of you. Mom would tell us how important it is to be kind to one another every day and not to put off kindness. Let us do a random act of kindness with one another or one who may be less fortunate. Is there someone in your life that you love that you've been meaning to tell I love you but never got around to it? Is there an old friend that you've been meaning to call but are too busy to call? Is there a co-worker who's doing a good job that you've been meaning to congratulate but never got around to it? Mrs. Gottlober would say to you, do not push it off. Do it today, because nobody is guaranteed tomorrow. So we say to you, our dear Mom, go home, our beloved. You succeeded in the test of life. Go in peace and rest in peace. Because even though you are gone from us physically, the memories of your beautiful life, your sacrifices for family, your being there with your husband, our beloved Dad, to build houses for those in need, and the sacrifices to make it happen, your smile, your kindness that emanated with love will be etched in our hearts forever. In the words of the poet, if we continue to love the ones we lost, we never lost the ones we love. And as every time we met, before we parted, you requested prayers, I will do the same now with memorial prayers. Fear not death, we are destined to die. We share it with all who ever lived, with all who ever will be. Bewail the dead, hide not your grief, do not restrain your mourning, but remember that continuing sorrow is worse than death. When the dead are at rest, let their memory rest and be consoled when their soul departs. Seek not to understand what is too difficult for you. Search not for what is hidden from you. Be not over-occupied what is beyond you, for you have been shown more than you could understand. As a drop of water in the sea, as a grain of sand on the shore, are a man's few days in eternity. The good things in life last for limited days, but a good name endures forever. O God, our Father, you redeem our souls from the grave. You are the rock of our salvation. Forsake us not in time of trouble, in days of distress and desolation. Help us to endure, O God, for we have placed our hope in you. And I think we shall lower the casket because it's getting cold. So what we're going to do is we're going to lower the casket. And what we do is we take some shovels of dirt and put it on the casket. Because this is the only time in life you do somebody a favor and they can't say thank you. Generally, when you do somebody a favor, you say thank you, you say, yeah, don't worry about it. But if you mean it enough, they can't say thank you. So it truly, truly is an act of kindness that we each do for our loved ones. So because it's getting a little cold, we just put the dirt down and say goodbye before we pass. No, this is getting cold. I'll let the people stop later so it's getting late. It's getting late. I feel like my brother says when the ends start getting blue, we cut the switch. Dust returns to the earth as it was, but the spirit returns unto God who gave it. May the soul of Mrs. Ann Gottlober be bound up in the band of life with God. Send comfort, O Lord, to those who mourn. Grant strength to those who burden with sorrow. O merciful Father, our refuge and Redeemer, let us pray. Given and the Lord has taken away. Praise be. Oh God, exultant and full of passion, grant perfect peace in your sheltering presence among the holy and pure to the soul of Ann Gottlober, who has gone to her eternal home. Master of mercy, we beseech you, remember all the worthy and righteous deeds that she performed in the land of the living. May our soul be bound up in the bond of life. The Lord is her portion. May she rest in peace, and let us say amen.
Amen.
Say the Kaddish now. Say it slow. Yiskadal. When I raise my hand like this, everybody say amen, okay? Yiskadal v'yiskadash shemei Rabbo. Amen. Be'olma divrach Yerusei, v'yamlich malchusei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei b'chol beis Yisrael. Bagalov izman kariv imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbo mevarach la'olam olomei omayo. Yisbarach v'yishtabach v'yisbar v'yisromam v'yisnaseh v'yishadar v'yishalev v'yishalol shemei v'kudsha b'richu li'elah min kol birchasa v'shirasa v'tushvachasa v'nechanasa namiran v'yoma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba mishamaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imronav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May all who mourn the loss of Mrs. Ann Gottlober find comfort in the hope that though the dust returns to the earth as it was, the spirit returns to God who gave it. Death is not the end. Those we love have passed through the gateway of the grave into the peace of life eternal. We know that all of us must tread the same path, though we know not when the hour may come. Let us so live that the coming of that hour shall find us unafraid. May our deeds do honor to the memory of our beloved whom you have taken to yourself. Trusting in your wisdom and loving kindness, we praise your name. Amen. Okay, I now bless the mourners for that tradition of our words. In the words of our tradition, Hamakom Yinachem Eschem, B'soch Avelei Tzion B'Yerushalayim. May God console you amongst the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem, that the next time we meet, we only meet in joy and health and in happiness. And may this be the last of any of sorrow to you all and your family. This concludes our service.